TJ Watt, Josh Sweat, Trey Hendrickson. It seems like every pass rush star has been linked to the Lions in recent months. And amidst all the speculation, Brad Holmes is sticking to his guns, even if he's frustrating some fans. On the other side of the defense, a young name has been dividing opinions. Terrion Arnold has had a year of ups and downs, but the issue is far from over. There's some hot news about the teams behind the scenes, so leave a like and check it out. All right, Lions fans, it's time for a quick reality check. If you're still clinging to the dream of TJ Watt rocking Honolulu blue this fall, you might want to prepare your heart for a little heartbreak. It's been a wild offseason full of edge rusher fantasies, and we've just about run the gauntlet of NFL sack artists hoping one would land in Detroit. It all kicked off with the Myles Garrett pipe dream. And hey, no shame in it. We were all sipping the Kool-Aid on that one for a second. There were whispers of calls being made, and Lions fans dared to believe. But Cleveland quickly slammed the door, and GM Brad Holmes all but lit that dream on fire at the Combine. Not happening. Then free agency hit, and boom, Josh Sweat entered the chat. Even Shefty threw some gas on that fire, saying the Lions were sniffing around. But then he signed for $76 million, and it became pretty clear Detroit wasn't going to empty the vault for him. Next up, Trey Hendrickson. Now this one felt like it could happen. He fits the Lions' vibe, he's productive, gritty, all that. But the Bengals just don't play nice with trades. They're basically the NFL's version of, we don't do that here. So once again, nope. The draft came, and some folks thought this was it, the moment to snag a young pass rusher. But the Lions waited until the 6th round to grab Ahmed Hassanin. And honestly, the kid might end up being a gem. But he's a long-term project, not a day-one QB killer. Now we've reached the TJ Watt chapter of the offseason fever dream. Some podcasters are connecting imaginary dots and claiming Watt wants to play for Dan Campbell. Cool story, but let's be real. The guy skipped minicamp with the Steelers because he wants more money, and he's already one of the top-paid edge rushers in the league. Detroit just let Zadarius Smith walk because they couldn't swing his $11 million deal. You think they're about to hand Watt a blank check? Come on. Brad Holmes has been straight with us. He likes his edge group. The defense was top tier last year until the injury bug bit hard, and Holmes isn't about to blow up the cap for one big-name splash. This isn't a win-now, screw-tomorrow franchise. The Lions are playing the long game. Sustainable greatness, not a single Super Bowl Hail Mary. So yeah, go ahead and admire Watt's highlight reels. But if you're expecting a blockbuster trade or some Madden-style fantasy move from this front office, you're probably setting yourself up for disappointment. Do you still believe in the arrival of TJ Watt? Comment below. Now, let's talk about the unfair criticism about Terrion Arnold. And that's the one that's really getting people talking. All right, let's pump the brakes on the Terrion Arnold might be a bust talk, shall we? Bleacher Report's Matt Holder dropped a list of rookies who need to level up in year 2 to avoid that dreaded B word. And yeah, Arnold landed on it. Now we get where he's coming from. Arnold wasn't perfect in 2024. The dude gave up 56 catches and had a passer rating near 100 when targeted. But acting like he's spiraling toward bust territory? That's just lazy analysis. Look, Arnold came into a pressure cooker situation. The Lions' cornerback room was a mess heading into last season, and when Detroit took him at 24th overall, it was with full-on expectations that he'd patch things up fast. And sure, early on, he looked a little lost. First 5 games were rough. He gave up 39 catches, led the league in penalties, and basically had a baptism by fire. Welcome to the NFL, kid. But here's the thing, he bounced back. In his final 11 games, Arnold allowed just 21 catches and cleaned up the flags, committing only 2 penalties. That's a huge leap in consistency. He also led all rookies in man coverage snaps with 5.55, and in that ultra-demanding role, he allowed just 26 catches and a passer rating of 79.3. That's impressive. What tripped him up was zone coverage, where he gave up 25 catches on 30 targets and got torched with a rating of 146.4. But zone's a different animal, and rookies often struggle there. The Lions aren't treating him like a liability either. DJ Reed was brought in to lock down CB1 duties, basically taking over for Carlton Davis, not to push Arnold down the depth chart. And Avonte Maddox? He's expected to line up at safety, not bump Arnold from the boundary. Bottom line, the Lions see Arnold as a core piece. This secondary is being built around him, not despite him. Calling a 21-year-old rookie who got better every single week a bust candidate feels like a reach. He's not perfect, but he's learning, grinding, and on the path to being a long-term stud in Detroit's secondary. Bust? Nah, that's just preseason noise. The fans' dream is fair, but the board is focused on solid construction, not an off-season splash. And Arnold? It's not a bust, it's an evolution. Subscribe to the channel and follow us for more truths about the Lions.